Tech Tales 34. Today is May 19th on a Wednesday, 5:38 p.m. These time slips are from Thursday, May 6th. The apartment building with the letter M for both of these time slips. 9:43 a.m. to 12:13 p.m. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes. The time slip starts with the names of the two people that I was working on their computers. So it's V and J. And the time slip reads, completed lab work checklist for both new computers. Prepared in-office checklists. Phone conversation with V regarding configuration and installation issues. Mounted V's computer to the monitor. Left callback message for J. Moved computers to staging area, updated records. So to break out this time slip a little bit more in detail. So completed lab work checklist. So I've shown a little bit or talked about my checklist before. So there are two computers here side by side, and I was going through them at the same time, and I have two columns. So I have a check mark for each computer as I was going through it. I think I actually showed that a little bit on a prior Tech Tales, but I had not finished, and I come back days later and continued it. So this is where I completed the lab work checklist for both computers. And then the next phrase says prepared in-office checklist. Now what that means is I took the in-office checklist that I have, meaning I take a computer to the client's office, connect it to the network, not at the user's desk, and do some in-office configuration work. Well, there's little differences in how that actually transpires. So in this case, what I did is I prepared that checklist specifically for these people before taking the computers into their office. And then I wound up putting the computer right on their desk and finishing that in-office checklist at their desk and also the at-desk checklist. So I could do it all at once. And for these two users, that was easy to accomplish because they can easily be away from their desk for a period of time. They have other responsibilities away from their desks. So I knew that was going to be the case in this office, that I didn't need to have the computer at two different places. That's not always the case. Sometimes I need to reduce the amount of time that I am commandeering a person's desk while I'm doing my work. So that was in-office checklist. Okay, so then the next phrase, phone conversation with V regarding configuration and installation issues. So I had not yet had much of a conversation with her on the details. So I just discussed with her how this was going to go, what was going to happen with the new computer, I think I'll have everything covered, but there's always, or not always, but there's sometimes little things that I miss. So just give me a call and we'll take care of it. And I was asking also, I think, about what primary printer she uses, and a few other things about how she's accustomed to working with the computer that I didn't know. And I don't remember offhand right now what we discussed. But so this was the day before the actual installation for her. So it was also including what her work day was going to look like the next day to be sure that I was okay. She was okay with me coming in and occupying her desk during that time. Going down to the next phrase, mounted V's computer to monitor. So this is a time slip still, and I'm working in my lab. These computers were the little micro, I don't have one right here, do I? The little micro computers, but yeah, about yay big and yay thick. And I mount them on the back of a monitor. It's going to stand on the desk. And that's a new thing for this office. I've been using that for a few of my clients, and everybody's really liking those so far. These microcomputers actually have a DVD drive included on that mounted microcomputer. These are Lenovo computers. They are refurbished computers. I do a lot of refurbished computers with my clients. I don't like doing new computers with my clients. Most of the time when people are buying and paying the extra money for new, what they're concerned about is warranty coverage. The problem with warranty coverage is that by the time they pay me to work with the manufacturer to get some kind of a warranty coverage actually utilized, they've spent more money on my time than that warranty dollar amount is worth. And it is always longer turnaround time. So when something goes wrong with a computer, typically what happens, even if a computer is under warranty, they call me in, I figure out what's wrong, and I say, okay, I can just get the part, here's what's going to cost you, or I can spend an hour, 2, maybe 3, working with their various different levels of technicians before they decide I really know what I'm doing. Because when you call for warranty support, you're going to start with the entry level phone support person who's reading from a script. They're not technicians. To get directly to a higher level support, you have to have some clout. And none of my clients are large enough to have that kind of clout. And I would never be selling enough computers to have that kind of clout. So it saves my clients money to do the refurbished computers, and they have really been working well. Frankly, I can't recall having any problem with one of those computers. Now, I'm not talking just those microcomputers. I do laptops this way. I do tower computers this way. I do servers this way. I don't recall having any kind of a failure where I had to go replace parts that would have been under warranty if we had bought new. So I'm a believer. It works for me. I know some technicians would never in a million years do that. My clients know that these are refurbished computers. I explain it to them. They can choose different if they want to. And I do occasionally, I occasionally have a client that calls me and says, hey, I bought a computer. Can you come set it up for me? Or I bought a computer and I started setting up and I can't figure it out. And typically what happens is they've done the initial setup wrong. They've got it tied to a Microsoft account that they just made up while they were doing the setup. They didn't associate it with their own email address. They had no clue about what that means or what it does. So sometimes I've actually returned them to factory state and start the process over again. Or on the other hand, they buy a new computer because they were in a store and they talk to the salesperson and they decide this is what they want. And then they realize, well, it doesn't have enough USB ports for me, or maybe it doesn't have a DVD drive, or I paid the oh my gosh, one client paid for the subscription for Microsoft 365 from the computer store where they bought the computer. And we didn't find out until that subscription expired and he wanted to switch to a different Microsoft 365 subscription, that he had now tied his custom domain email account to that retailer's Microsoft 365, what do they call it? Administration account or whatever. He couldn't get out of that. He could not. He tried to cancel it. He got confirmation of canceling. They just kept charging his card every year after year. We did finally get him transitioned over to the Microsoft 365 subscription that serves him better, but it was a horrendous mistake, and I think he seriously learned a lesson. It just doesn't work good for a business client to go out and buy directly from the store. Too many mistakes have been made that way. There's other stories. So let's move on. What's the rest of this? Let's see. So I mounted the computer to the back of the monitors. I left a callback message for Jay because I wanted to have a conversation with him. He never did call back. Move the computers to staging area, which basically means disconnect them all from here and take them out to where I load them into my car. That takes time. It's billable. It's part of the process of serving the client. So that was a total of 2 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, then updated records. So I keep records of the computers for my clients. So I had a little bit of record updating to do there. And that was all straight time. I put in my time slip when I started, and I put in a time when I ended. And let's see, did that actually work out to, yeah, that looks like 2.5 hours without, meaning no break times that I put in there. Then the net, let's see, we're at 10 minutes there. No, this needs more time. So we're just going to do that one time slip today. All right, so I hope that was useful. Have a great day. Catch you later. Goodbye.